Welcome everybody, Brother Goodwin here. We got an exciting show for you here at Processing the Spotlight. Doc is sitting here in the studio. I got to be honest, the show today is going to be a little different than probably anything we've ever done. We're going to be talking about some insane conspiracy theories that are not so insane as people are saying they are. Let me read a verse for you out of the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord our God. I'll just read that part of it. Secret things belong unto the Lord. Let me read another verse for you in the book of Romans. I believe it's chapter 11 here, verse 33. Let me just read the second half of 11:33 in Romans. It says this: how unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. In today's program, we're going to show you some things that the world thinks we're nutty about. And we're going to show you that it's not so nutty after all. God's ways are not our ways. And his ways are unsearchable. And stand by. And welcome everybody, Processing the Spotlight here. And Doc, this is going to be one of the most unusual shows that we've ever done. We might be called nuts, I don't know.
I think the world already calls us, thinks we're nuts.
You've got a verse to add to the two that I read a moment ago. Let's do that.
In Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 9 it says, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And so I think we're going to discover today that God knows a whole lot more than the world thinks he knows.
Now what you've given me here, and this is what we're going to talk about today, I actually am pretty excited about it. We might be nuts, I don't know, but
maybe according to them we're nuts.
These are 10 insane conspiracy theories about the New World Order that somebody's written. In fact, you said this could have been written by artificial intelligence. I am
confident, folks, after having dealt with artificial intelligence and the ChatGPT program for hours looking at it, I can guarantee you that the greater majority of this was written by artificial intelligence, because this is exactly how it would answer when you give it these prompts.
And folks, if you don't know what we mean by the GPT or something like that, you need to watch last week's show. We did a whole show on artificial intelligence. In fact, we have a DVD. She'll put that up during the show from time to time. Doc's DVD, over an hour long, good stuff, full of slides, presentations, and.
But I talked quite a bit about that program, and I'm telling you, Dan, if I gave it these parameters, this would be exactly how it would write out these things for me.
Now when I say go find last week's show, you can't do that here if you're watching via television, but if you're watching via YouTube or Rumble, you can watch all of our shows. They're all back there. And I think, was it show 134 or 133? We're not sure. But anyway, it was last week's show. I think it might have been 134. Or 135. I don't know.
We're behind time.
So go to our website if you need to, processingthespotlight.com. It's right there on the screen. You can see it. And you can find the YouTube channel right there, and you can click on that. You can just go click on videos, and they're all lined up one right after another. And you can watch the show we did about artificial intelligence. And he's right. AI would have.
Oh, exactly.
There's 10 things on this list, 10 insane conspiracy theories, according to this author here. This is Andrew Handley. I don't know who Andrew Handley is, but it doesn't matter. These are they're making fun of us.
They're making fun of, absolutely.
People who are against the WEF, the World Economic Forum.
Anybody trying to expose it for what it is, anybody that wants to say the New World Order is already here, they're trying to debunk all of that.
They want to make us look like idiots.
Yes.
Or, of course,
they think we are. That's okay.
Conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
And ain't it funny how most of the conspiracy theories have come true? And,
for years, every time we'd come out, well, that's a conspiracy kook. Now, all of a sudden, those conspiracies are realities, and they're looking for another one.
Well, let's look at the first one here, and this is starting with 10 going backwards, so we'll have to watch the time. We want to get to
a couple of them.
Make sure we get to some of these. I don't know for sure. Some of these, I'm not sure what I believe, but we'll go through them here.
Yeah.
Some of these, I don't have any proof of, but they're certainly interesting, and I don't know.
I've thought about them for a couple of days, so we'll be okay.
The first one is the 10 Kings prophecy, and we just did an update for radio and the update on YouTube, on the 10 Kings of Revelation 17. We also went back and looked at the four kingdoms of the world, beginning with Nebuchadnezzar and on, and very interesting. Conspiracy, and here's what they say: conspiracy theories that begin with the Bible are nothing new. What a slam.
In other words, everything in the Bible is a conspiracy.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories that begin with the Bible are nothing new. But according to some people, the New World Order was very specifically predicted in the book of Revelation. The 10 Kings prophecy is the theory that 10 nations will rise to power and create a new government.
I believe God knew they would be 10 sometime in the future.
Well, let me tell this author, there's a whole bunch of more just like that have already been come to pass.
Amen.
There's a whole bunch. In fact, Alexander the Great is in the Bible, in the book of Daniel. He's one of them. He's one of them four kingdoms that's going to rise, and it was told long before he ever showed up.
Long before. And the one that's rising was told.
In fact, 600 years before, 500 years before.
Almost 2,700 years ago, not quite, 2,600 years ago. Where we are today was already told what would be happening. And the 10 Kings is an interesting thing. I know they're making light of it because we believe the Bible, but you're watching right now the 10 major central banks in the world working on their own CBDC, digital currency, and I'm convinced it's a great possibility. Now, I'm not saying it's absolute, but I could see where in Revelation chapter 17, verse 12, where it says these kings will be given power as kings for 1 hour. And then they're going to give their power to the Antichrist. And I could see how that could easily be 10 economic sections of the world. Not necessarily just political or militarily, but economic zones. And then once they get that whole system you're hearing about right now, they'll be able to just give that power to the Antichrist, and he's got control of everything, buying and selling, you name it.
And I don't think that's a reference to the 10 kingdoms,
no,
10 toes,
no.
Because this is already the tribulation.
Because it says as kings.
So these 10 kings are not, and they're really not the ones that this guy's talking about.
I don't think so. No. And there's going to be somehow or another 10 segments of the world, I believe. We've always believed it was the Roman, we use the term revived Roman Empire. I'm not so sure it's ever gone away to be revived, but anyway, a restructuring, I guess, in the end times. But
I get a kick out of this. Conspiracy theories that begin with the Bible are nothing new. I mean, these two stupid idiots with their Bible, you know. Hey, count me in. I'm one of them. And,
well, show me where a prediction in the Bible that hasn't already been fulfilled exactly like it said it would be. That tells me those that are yet to be done will be exactly as he said.
By the way, check your history. I think we were better people back when we believed the Bible.
Absolutely.
And I think you find the Bible-believing people throughout history, you'll find a clean, godly, pure, a justice system, godliness and purity, and
yes, everything that's missing in our present world.
Yeah, the people who wrote this and their slur here about the Bible, they're probably pushing transgenderism and all.
Oh yes, and evolutionary, because one of the things we'll see in a minute is transgenderism, that they're making fun of us.
Well, let's get to this next one, because if we'll talk too much on one and we won't get them done. Population control.
Yeah.
In order to maintain its iron grip over the world, the New World Order would have to trim off some of the excess population. According to conspiracy theorists, that means killing most of the planet and leaving about 2 billion people. No, it's 500 million.
Yeah.
Bill Gates has already said it, for goodness sakes. What planet's this guy living on?
I hear you.
It's not 2 billion. They want the planet down to 500 million.
Sustainability.
Yeah.
You know.
So, population control.
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy. Yet you look around and everybody said this new, they call it sudden death syndrome. And you see all these athletes of the world, I mean from teenagers all the way through professional sports, dropping dead one right after the other.
Sometimes on live television.
Sudden death syndrome. But it's like, we're not going to talk about the elephant that's in the room.
Well, I heard that the elephant died. I saw a meme. It was great.
The elephant died.
It had an elephant laying down in this room, and the elephant has died.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room has died. Some of you don't get what we're talking about there. But
if you can't figure out this thing here, I mean, anyway. But, we're conspiracy theory because they really think. And I'm convinced
telling this fella, it's worse than you think. It's not 2 billion, it's 500 million. It's a $500 million.
No,
not 2 billion.
No, they blew up those guide stones in Georgia because they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Folks, I know we're laughing about it. It's a reality, but
this guy needs to call us.
These people are laughing at us, and we have the truth.
At least get him the right numbers here. He's not got it right here. It's worse than we believe it's worse than this. Let's go to the next one, number 8. Silent sound spread spectrum. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
One big theory about the New World Order is that they use mind control on the general population. While that's a constant in almost every conspiracy theory, New World Order believers think that when the time comes, the world leaders will flip a switch and instantly force the population into submission. If such a technology were that important to achieving their goals, they would obviously try it to test it first.
It looks like they've been testing it.
It looks like they are.
It looks like they are.
This fella needs to call us. He needs help.
I'll tell you. What's going on right now is that very project.
Hasn't the television been mind
That's
control
exact.
for
Media,
50, 60,
the media
70 years?
is, everything about the media is subliminal. And it bypasses your conscious door. It puts things in your mind, change it. They're able to change your thinking, your course of habits through the media. It's not a conspiracy, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Blueprints in literature. So this must be something about books, right?
Yes.
True to form, conspiracy theorists are quick, we're talking about people like Doc here, they're quick to assume that the New World Order, we're quick to assume. We're not quick to assume anything. We study and we pay attention, and we're Bible believers.
Amen.
And we can see things that some of these guys don't see. Well, anyway, let's back to the script here. True to form, conspiracy theorists are quick to assume that the New World Order's literature is required reading.
Oh, really?
For the world elite. Oh. They see it not necessarily as a prediction, but as an impetus that brought the current New World Order into existence in the first place. Isn't there required reading out there for a lot of these people?
I'm telling you, the whole higher educational system is all about this. And it goes all the way down. They are entering into their textbooks for all public education, preparing the minds for the acceptance of a one world order, and they don't even know what's going on. They have no idea.
The institutions of quote unquote higher learning, as they call it, have all been taken over by.
It's higher education without any wisdom to go with it.
They've been taken over by godless people who don't believe. They believe what this guy said.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories that begin with the Bible.
Yes.
You know.
Well, they're hardcore evolutionists, and on it goes. But they are preparing the world.
Did you know most of the institutions of colleges, Harvard and all
started as Bible
seminaries and theological centers, and started by great men.
But that shows you how the devil, he can take the best of something and turn it into the worst of something.
He can't build anything. He corrupts stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, you
and a lot of books have been written, and a lot of movies. Haven't you not noticed that a lot of the movies that was from even, let's say, even as recent as the 80s and 90s of the last decade? Can you imagine? They're all the realities of life.
Yeah.
And so it tells me that the devil owns Hollywood, and all of these things were foretelling. And so what he's saying we're kooks about is the reality. All you got to look at it.
And by the way, talk about required reading. Forget the colleges. There's required reading in our schools, high schools and grade schools, that ought to be thrown out of there.
Yes.
And they're teaching them that we came from monkeys. They're teaching evolution. Yep. That's required. Sex education, all that.
Even in the states where a creation is allowed to be taught, it is not it's not permitted to be the dominant. It's something that can be just presented.
Well, let's just take a pause right here, Doc. If there's anyone still out there, they might have all left. I don't know.
I think they like what we're doing.
If you like us conspiracy nuts, if you like what you hear here, we'd like to encourage you to partner with us in the ministry. We're viewer supported, listener supported. The only reason we're here is the gifts and financial gifts of God's people. And if you like what you see here and you like our programs and you believe these are important, we'd like to hear from you. Thank you to all the many of you that support us on a monthly basis, and some of you just one-time gifts. And if you're out there and you'd like to partner with us, you'd like to be a prayer warrior or financial partner with us, you can go right to the website. You can donate there. There's several ways to donate. You can send checks in the mail. You can get the addresses on the, I believe that's on the website as well. It must be. I get checks in the mail.
Yes.
So, and if you'd like to talk to us and talk to us about where we're headed and what you'd like to do, we'd love to talk to you by phone. Just call the owner number and tell them, hey, I want to talk to Brother Goodwin, or I'd like to talk to Dr. Hiltibidal, and they'll get your number. We'll call you. Okay. God bless. All right, Doc, let's get back to this here.
Number 6.
Number 6, I don't know, Majestic 12 in the 19th. This is a big one.
It is.
This is a big one.
And it's something people don't really know the name. They say that's more. Wait till you hear what it's all about, then you'll know.
Now, I've never been a Truman fan. I got some things about Truman that I could share that are pretty strange. But in the 40s, President Truman commissioned a secret committee of scientists and government employees to keep track of the UFOs that were plaguing American skies. Now let's remember, UFO when you hear UFO, that doesn't mean little green men. It doesn't mean fallen angels riding around in a spaceship. It means an unidentified object that is either on radar or in camera, or somebody saw it fly by. It could be anything. Could be something blowing in the wind. Could be a reflection. So understand what that is here. But now I'm reading what this guy said. Yeah. This is what the guy that thinks we're a bunch of nuts. Here's what he said. In the 40s, President Truman commissioned a committee of scientists and government employees to keep track of the UFOs that were plaguing America's skies. The organization, called Majestic 12, was kept top secret, but over the years, various documents have surfaced that seem to prove their existence. And I have a feeling our conspiracy guy, well, let's read it here. According to conspiracy theorists, the government created the entire thing as a hoax.
Oh, really?
In order to keep the public's attention away from the real threat, aliens in the government. The New World Order is
the ones that came across the border?
No, he's talking about little green men,
okay.
or half angel, half man.
I guess,
whatever.
yeah.
The New World Order isn't headed by the elite of humanity per se. It's being planned by aliens who already have humanity's elite under their control. Now, I do not believe what he's saying here.
No.
He's half right.
Yeah, he's half
but
right.
I don't believe that there's aliens from out of space.
But the UFO thing has become a major thing that they're making fun of us about, because we realize it's being used to set the mindset of the world to explain, I believe, to explain away part of the rapture.
That's right. I believe that too.
And you've got something in a book you wrote about that.
She'll put that up for you. I have a little booklet, 30, 40 pages, I don't remember, but just a little booklet. You can read in an hour.
Yeah.
UFOs, true or false? And there's by the way, my wife did that cover. Ain't that something? That cover is awesome. And there's one of them UFOs. You can just see them Nephilim in there.
Oh, you can
see
just
them through the window.
Oh, I don't see a green man at all.
Oh, yeah, there's a green man in there, a Nephilim, and they're abducting women and all
they're
this
using
stuff.
a joystick, not a steering wheel. Okay.
And I
middle telepathy.
I give the whole history of the UFOs.
Yep.
Basically, in the 40s.
This right here.
1947. It began right there, the UFO stuff, and some of it was testing that the military was doing. They were dropping dummies down from the sky, and all kinds of different things they were doing. They were testing things, and most of the UFO sightings are taking place near a military.
Near military,
place.
but is that big red, that big white ball that's flowing through the skies across America?
No, that's a Chinese balloon that's spying on us, and we're just watching them do it. The one over Montana, is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
And now,
I'm surprised the cowboy hadn't shot it down.
now, well, at the recording, this is February 3rd today or something like that?
Yeah.
So by the time this airs, that thing's going to be gone.
February 2nd.
They will either have blown it up or it's gone, whatever. I don't know, but
we're not going to blow it up.
But it's been up there for a while now. And
That's Biden's partner up there taking care of that. Don't worry about that.
We're not doing anything about it. So there's a balloon up there in case you didn't hear about it. That is spying over Montana, over our missile base.
That's an unidentified No, it's identified. We know it belongs to China.
Yeah. It was a UFO, but then they identified
now it is. Yeah. Hey, we better go on to the next.
I have a whole chapter here about UFOs. I get the history of it. I explain some interesting stuff that I think will help you realize that there's not little green men and there's not fallen angels flying around in flying saucers. And get that book. It'll be a help to you.
It'll be a help.
So we're
the next two go together.
Okay, the next two, the Bohemian Grove and the Geronimo Skull.
Yeah.
The Bohemian Grove, and this is in California, I know a little bit about this, is a very real thing. It's a campground in California that's owned by the Bohemian Club, a grouping of the world's leaders, artists, and captains, industry, and that boasts several thousand members. But according to the people who haven't been there, there's people that have been there. There's people, Bible believers that have been there.
Yeah.
He's wrong about that. According to people who haven't been there, the Bohemian Grove is a dark place of pagan rituals and devil worship, a birthing ground for devious plans to invite the New World Order. I won't read the rest of it here, but
all of our illustrious presidents from the past, I mean, the Bushes and the Clinton, the list goes on. But in the next one down there, talk about that Geronimo Skull.
All right. Since many members of the Bohemian Club are also members of Yale's prestigious Skull and Bones.
Oh,
we know about this because George Bush, the younger.
Yeah. Well, for time's sake, let me tell you, it goes on to talk about the facts. George Bush's grandfather is the one that stole Geronimo's
Prescott, I think.
Yes, stole Geronimo's, because supposedly it has some kind of special power. That's not conspiracy. That's their facts of what they believe.
Yeah.
So this all goes to, and it's tied to the.
So who's the conspiracy theorist, them or us?
Them, because they are tied to the German Illuminati. Every one of these comes out of Germany, both of these.
Yeah.
And so they're making fun of us because we would try to tell folks that, look, these are nefarious people. These people have a secret order. They've got secret plans. And George Bush Sr. even is the one who coined New World Order for the world.
That's right.
Because this is their plan. So they're making fun of us for exposing these folks for what they really are and what their plans are about.
There is something about the Bohemian Grove.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing that I can prove, but I've read stuff, I've seen videos, I've seen pictures. There's people that have
very demonic.
Have somehow gotten in there.
Very demonic.
Yeah, and there's a lot of immorality that's takes place there. And
maybe that's where Epstein started to learn to fly.
It could be.
Yeah, it might be.
All right,
anyway.
so we got, there's just a couple more here. The surveillance complex. The surveillance industrial complex, usually just called mass surveillance. Mass surveillance, where they're Big Brother. You ever heard of Big Brother?
That's just the conspiracy kooks like us.
Yeah, but the guy, George Orwell, understood it.
Oh, yeah.
With his book, 1984. Mass surveillance is a widespread plan to keep tabs on the world population. There are plenty of countries that do implement relatively widespread surveillance. The Soviet Union had a network of spies. America has the NSA, the PRISM. China has their Golden Shield. But to New World Order conspiracy theorists, that's us, their motivations are much, much darker. While aliens are usually the most agreed upon scapegoat for why the government wants to watch you brush your teeth. That's funny. It's important not to forget about dark chakras and mirror worlds and Satan.
Oh, yeah.
This guy doesn't believe in Satan.
No, but this is exactly what's happening. The surveillance of the world is being set up for the end-time Antichrist kingdom.
Do we want to go here, Doc? Chemtrails.
I think we need to, because
if you look up into the sky, and here's what he says, if you look up into the sky on a clear blue day, you might catch a glimpse of an unusual checkerboard pattern of thin clouds that look almost but not quite like airplane contrails. These are chemtrails, which the government sprays over the population to spread mind-controlling chemicals, biological weapons, or weather-altering super technology, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
In other words, that's what he's saying that the conspiracy people believe.
He's admitting that there are chemtrails, because there's a difference between chemtrails and kintrails, which are the vapor that comes out of a jet engine to begin with.
Yeah. The weather control conspiracy is the most widespread theory about chemtrails. The theory states that chemtrails, or chemicals spewing out of government planes, are designed to create ionospheric disruption that can be used to manipulate weather patterns.
For weather. And that is true. They admit it. They are working at altering the weather patterns. They think they can do this, that, or the other over the things that God alone has control of. But we need to understand that there really is chemicals that are coming out.
Yeah.
And anyway, we don't have time to deal with it because you need to read the last one. I think it's really important. All
right, post-humans, and this is talking about AI, I believe, and trying to make us better.
Transhumanism is what they say.
The inevitable goal of the New World Order is to create a new breed of superhumans called post-humans. This isn't a human design, it's what the aliens want. In fact, aliens have been credited with every advancement of human evolution since the dawn of civilization.
He's making fun, at times about out, he's making fun of the reality that the scientists of the world are working feverishly for transhumanism.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of transgenderism right now, to get people to accept a new movement of humanity. They do believe evolution is the next step coming.
Yeah. Folks, we're old-fashioned Bible believers.
Amen.
You can call us conspiracy people all you want. We're Bible believers, and we see things, and we look at history. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the program as much as we've enjoyed doing it. But until next time, keep your eyes on them skies.